Hey guys, welcome back at Beethoven 250 in 52 Posts, my weekly vlog series on social media to celebrate the 250th anniversary of Ludwig van Beethoven's birth this year. In the last two episodes, we have discovered the early and the middle string quartets, which implies that there are also late quartets, which is true, on which we will focus in this episode 37. And we will particularly focus on a slow movement of the 13th quartet called the Cavatina. Beethoven's late quartets, number 12 to 16, are his last major works he wrote. Written between 1825 and 1826, in only 2 years' time, he finished 5 complete string quartets. Quite an achievement, especially if you consider that Beethoven was completely deaf at the time and, as we know from episode 12 of this series, continuously ill. Some people relate the music, the complexity of it and the modern sound of these quartets to that health state of Beethoven. People thought that he had lost his mind, that he completely had lost touch with the real world and had become mad. There must be something in there, but we do not know what it is, commented someone. And composer Louis Spohr was a bit less diplomatic. He said that those quartets were undecipherable, uncorrected horrors. But in fact, Beethoven was far ahead of his time with this music and delivered some of his masterpieces with it. Also some of his most beautiful slow movements, like this one for instance, inspired on his recovery from a terrible stomach illness, the third movement of the 15th quartet, Holy Song of Thanks to Divinity from One Made Well. Music that brings tears to your eyes, and Beethoven's friends cried as babies when they first heard this beautiful slow movement of the 15th quartet. And if it's your first time, I'm sure it will have the same effect on you. But can you be moved to tears by your own creations, by the notes you have written yourself? Well, yes, because that's what happened when Beethoven wrote his 13th quartet. The slow movement there also has a title, and that is the Cavatina. Cavatina is an opera term, and in the 18th century it indicated a short song with a simple melody. Well, in Beethoven's case, in this string quartet, the melody is not very simple, but it's breathtaking for sure. And Beethoven thought he had written one of his very, very best pieces with it. It had impressed him like no other music he wrote before. He had written it with tears of melancholy in his eyes, and when he even had to think of it, he already would get emotional. Well, that's a bit cocky perhaps, but you have to keep in mind that Beethoven was completely deaf at the time. He wasn't able to hear the music in real life, just in his head. And that must have been for sure very special to him, very intimate, very precious. Music of unearthly beauty. Speaking of which, I wonder what would happen if alien life would be able to hear this. If aliens exist, and if they know how to play a vinyl record, this namely would be one of the very first pieces of music they would hear. In 1977, NASA launched their Voyager mission. 2 Voyager spacecrafts were sent into interstellar space, and as a matter of fact, they are still traveling. After 40 years, they're still going further and further and further away from Earth. You can check that on the NASA website. But on board of those Voyager spacecrafts are two golden discs. Discs with recorded sounds of humans, of greetings, of nature, but also of music. And Beethoven and Bach are twice on those discs. Beethoven with his 5th Symphony and with the Cavatina. And not only that, also an image of the first page of the Cavatina score is printed on the discs. So if aliens exist, if they play instruments, if they find the Voyager spacecrafts, then they can immediately start forming a string quartet and play Beethoven. The perfect music for a lazy and slow Sunday. These slow movements of the 13th and 15th Quartet of Beethoven, the Holy Song of Thanks and the Cavatina. You will find the links to the music below in the comments. You will also find the links to the Tiki and PayPal page where you can do a donation. That will be highly appreciated by me. And share the words by liking and sharing this video with your friends if you enjoyed it, because that helps reaching more and more people with these great stories about Beethoven. We'll see each other in the next video next week of Beethoven 250 in 52 posts. Bye.